Hello, Oilers fans. Austin here with the pregame report for Game 1 between the Los Angeles Kings and your Edmonton Oilers. For the fourth straight season, the Oilers and Kings are meeting in the first round, but this time, Game 1 is in Los Angeles. The Oilers had home ice advantage the first three seasons, the first three matchups, I should say, against each other. This time, the Kings have home ice advantage, and they were one of, if not the best home team in the entire NHL. So it's a tough and tall ask for an Oilers team that is still not 100% healthy. Chris Knobloch yesterday mentioned that Evander Kane likely or will not play Game 1. Trent Frederic, he's still a question mark. And of course, we don't know the true status of players like Draisaitl, McDavid, Hyman, and they're already short on the back end, missing Matthias Ekholm, which is obviously a huge loss on the Oilers blue line. Everybody on that blue line is going to have to step things up massively, and it's got to be by committee for the Oilers tonight. And I'm very much looking forward to the game. So far, the playoffs have not disappointed around the rest of the NHL, and I am excited. I'm looking forward to this one. Friendly reminder, I am going to be doing a live stream fan reaction tonight. And of course, throughout the rest of this series, I'll be going live around 8 p.m. local time here in Alberta. I don't think puck drop is until about 8:15, 8:20 p.m. local time here in Alberta. But I am looking forward to doing the live stream. I've already set up my heart rate monitor. I'm bringing that back from last year's playoffs. Those of you who tuned into the streams last year, you'll know my heart rate hit 172 beats per minute during the final moments of Game 6 against Dallas. Hopefully, I don't have a heart attack or, pass out on stream, but it is very entertaining to watch that while I'm live reacting to the game. I do get pretty worked up, but I am looking forward to it. If you end up enjoying this pregame report, make sure to smash that like button. It goes a long way. And if you're maybe new to the channel or maybe you've tuned in before, but you're not yet subscribed, subscribe to the channel. We are here for the long haul. Hopefully, I will be creating content every single day, all the way through into June as the Oilers go on a long run. But it all starts with Game 1. There's a job to do. Let's see if the Oilers can do it. In today's pregame report, we're going to be going over the projected lineups. We're going to be going over the stats of both teams from the regular season, see how they stack up against each other. I will also be talking about the keys to the game for both teams and, of course, players to watch and score predictions. So let me know all of your thoughts in the comment section below as we take a look at the projected lineups. Now, this was from yesterday at practice. You had Zach Hyman with Connor McDavid and Connor Brown. I don't mind Hyman and McDavid together. It is a little interesting that Jeff Skinner is not up there because they did have good chemistry together. Their expected goal percentage was incredibly strong, over 60% at even strength. So it's very interesting that Jeff Skinner is being bumped back down the lineup. I love Connor Brown, okay? I love Connor Brown. I had a meme going all regular season. If he had scored a hat trick, I was going to buy one of his jerseys. I am going to continue that into the playoffs, by the way. If Connor Brown gets a hat trick, I'm buying one of his jerseys. That's just the meme right now with the community. But Connor Brown on the top line doesn't make sense. I think him and Hyman, they play kind of a similar style. There's a redundancy there. But maybe the coaching staff sees something. Maybe they like the way Brown plays with McDavid on the forecheck, and he's just a little bit quicker on his feet than Jeff Skinner. Jeff Skinner is a great skater, but Connor Brown has faster straight line speed, and they're going to need to try and utilize that speed to stretch the neutral zone a little bit because the LA Kings in that neutral zone, oh boy, they are rock solid. It is hard to penetrate. Pause. On the second line, we're going to have Podkolzin with Draisaitl and Arvidsson. This is a line that had a lot of success in the regular season, and it makes sense to put them back together with a hopefully healthy Leon Draisaitl. This is going to be a line that I think Chris Knobloch is going to try and utilize to try and shut down some of LA's better players, and this is also the more physical line for Edmonton, especially with Vasily Podkolzin. Now, Arvidsson, he's physical, but he's small, right? Like, he's not going to overpower anyone along the boards, but he is going to try and do his best. Leon Draisaitl, he is physical in a different way. He's physical when he has the puck. He reverse hits people. He's incredibly hard to knock the puck off of. This is a puck possession, generate chance lines. Try and wear down your opponent's defense. Try and wear down your opponent and then get the McDavid line or the third line out immediately after the second line to try and take advantage of that. On the third line, you have Jeff Skinner with Ryan Nugent-Hopkins and Kasperi Kapanen. Don't be surprised if there are still changes to come with this lineup for Edmonton. I can't see Kapanen playing a third line role. However, I don't dislike the look of this line in general. I think Kapanen is a responsible player. He doesn't produce enough offense, and he kind of had a struggle to, the last few weeks of the season. He was a minus for Edmonton after they picked him up off waivers, but he does do a lot of good things, and he has a lot of speed. If the Oilers can maintain puck possession with Kapanen on the ice, that is a good thing because he can get into scoring areas. He's pretty slippery, hard to knock off the puck. Jeff Skinner, of course, had good looks with Connor McDavid to end the season, and he is a shooter. This is the first time he has ever been in the Stanley Cup playoffs. He is going to be looking to make an impact early for this team, and he's going to be looking to assert himself early in this series. Now on the fourth line, Janmark with Adam Henrique and Corey Perry. That is a slow old line other than Matthias Janmark. Janmark is, well, let's just say he's someone I probably would not have in a playoff lineup when Evander Kane and Trent Frederic are healthy. Now they are the extra players. Kane, Frederic, Jones, and Derek Ryan. I imagine the Oilers are going to have a few more players up from Bakersfield soon, as Bakersfield did not qualify for the AHL playoffs. I would imagine Savoy's going to come up. I imagine Noah Philp is going to come up as their Black Aces. I would prefer to see Savoy and Philp in the playoff lineup over players like Henrique personally, but that's just me. We're not going to, critique and overthink this too much. Adam Henrique in a fourth line role, I think that's okay in the long run. We'll see when Evander Kane gets in the lineup. We'll see when Trent Frederic gets in the lineup, but as of right now, it doesn't look like either of them are going to play tonight in Game 1. On defense, Nurse with Bouchard. This is a pair that has historically put up some pretty good production in terms of on-ice analytics. They don't produce a lot of actual goals, so hopefully with Darnell Nurse's speed and his ability to carry the puck through the neutral zone and Evan Bouchard's ability to shoot and make that first outlet pass out of the zone, they're going to play a lot of minutes. They are likely going to play 25, 26 plus minutes, like minimum, in my opinion, because your second pair is Jake Wallman and Ty Emberson. Now, Emberson, of course, young D-man. This is only his second year in the NHL, just re-signed to a 2-year deal at $1.3 million per, which is great, but he still has a lot of growing to do. This is his first Stanley Cup playoffs, and it's going to be tough. It's going to be tough to ask Emberson to play big minutes against a big, fast, physical Los Angeles Kings team. We'll see how they utilize Emberson as the series progresses, but don't be surprised if they put Kulak with Wallman for quite a bit of shifts just to keep Emberson sheltered a little bit. On the third pair, you have Kulak with Josh Brown, and then Cam Dineen was the extra D-man rotating in and out. I don't foresee Josh Brown getting too much ice time here. If he's in the lineup, obviously the Oilers are not in a good position. I would rather Cam Dineen in that lineup. He can skate, he can shoot, he reads the play well, he knows when to jump up, he knows when to get back. I like Cam Dineen. I think he's a very underrated player. I don't think he is an NHL regular. Like, he's not someone that is going to play 82 games a year. But this is someone with the injuries to the Oilers' blue line. He should be in over Josh Brown. And if they were looking at all the metrics, goals for, goals against, all the advanced stats, he should be in over Josh Brown. Like, Josh Brown is just, I've said a lot about Josh Brown. If Brown is playing tonight, I'm hoping for the best. I hope he has a good game, and he's likely to be physical. At least he'll be punishing against some of the LA Kings forwards, if he can even catch up and hit them. In goal, this is where the X factors come in. Stuart Skinner, can he handle this pressure? Can he handle the early series pressure? Because last year in the postseason, he did great from games 4 through 7 of a series. It was games 1 to 3 where he really struggled. And now that the Oilers are not the home team to start the playoffs against LA, he has to steal a game here, whether it's game 1 or game 2. They're going to need Skinner to steal one. They're going to need him to lock down as much as possible, make the saves he's supposed to, and hopefully make some saves that he's not supposed to. Give the team in front of him some confidence in him. The earlier that the team in front of Skinner has confidence, the better chances Edmonton has at winning. But this is a very tough ask. Stu Skinner, is he up to the task? We're going to find out. Now, when it comes to the stats, these were the regular season stats. Of course, as the playoffs progress, I will be updating this board for you. Of course, after game 1, the stats are going to look silly because one game sample sizes create absolute nonsense, but I'm going to be fair and update this after every single game. The Kings, they were 27th on the power play, 8th on the penalty kill, very good penalty killing team, 14th in goals per game, 2nd in goals against per game. So generating offense against this LA Kings team is not going to be easy. They play a solid defensive system. They play great in the neutral zone. And if you happen to break through all of that, they have Darcy Kemper in net, who is a great goaltender. He is channeling that 2022 Darcy Kemper that went on that run with Colorado and won a Stanley Cup with them. So we'll see if Edmonton can find a way to break through against him early. The expected goals for the LA Kings, they ranked 4th in the league this season. They were 16th in shooting percentage and 8th in PDO. Now, for the Edmonton Oilers, they were 12th on the power play, although it did dip. They were a top 10 team basically all year, but the Oilers played about their last, 12, 13 games without McDavid or Draisaitl in the lineup together, which means the power play is going to struggle. And as the season ended, it was struggling. I imagine now with Draisaitl and McDavid back in the lineup together, if the Oilers get any opportunities, because it's going to be difficult. Power plays kind of dry up just a little bit, right? Like you get away with just a little bit more, unless it's the Ottawa-Toronto series where they call everything, but we'll have to see how things are officiated tonight. Hopefully it's officiated well. I just want good, clean hockey and call the penalties you're supposed to call. On the penalty kill, the Oilers, not too bad, 16th at 78.2%. Goals per game ranked 11th, 3.16. Goals against per game ranked 14th, which isn't super terrible because the Oilers are a good shot suppression team. They're one of the best. The LA Kings are also one of the best at shot suppression as well. Expected goals for ranked 3rd, shooting percentage ranked 26th, and PDO ranked 23rd. So, will the Oilers find a way to get some scoring depth? Are they going to be able to get that depth to rise from the ashes, find a way to pot a couple goals, and then let McDavid and Draisaitl also do their thing? We know McDavid and Draisaitl historically produce a lot, especially against the LA Kings. They're almost 2 points per game historically against them since 2022. I don't expect that to continue. The LA Kings, they're a little bit different. They play a little bit different. And in those first 2 games that they played against each other, where McD and Draisaitl were in the lineup for Edmonton, the Kings did not give them much. They only had 2 points apiece in 2 games played. It's going to be a tough ask for Edmonton, especially as the road team. The Kings are going to be able to get their defensive matchups. Let's see what the Oilers have up their sleeve. Let's see what Chris Knobloch has up his sleeve as well, tactically as a head coach here. Now, when it comes to the keys to the game for Edmonton, number 1, stay out of the muck. What do I mean about muck? What I mean there is stay out of the after whistle scrum, stay out of the nonsense. The LA Kings, they're going to be very pissed off because of what happened in their final meeting of the season. You had Darnell Nurse get suspended for 1 game for his cross-check to the back of Quinton Byfield's head. You had a lot of different Oilers take runs at different guys. Now, I don't think that they were necessarily trying to hurt LA Kings players, but the LA Kings believed that the Oilers were trying to hurt them, and the Kings are going to be out for some blood here. So if you're the Oilers, just know that LA, they're going to be punishing every single time you dump that puck in the corner. They're going to hit you as hard as they can. After every single whistle around the net, they're going to be grabbing a guy and roughing you up. If the Oilers, if they retaliate, the ref is likely going to take the player that retaliates. You cannot let the LA Kings get under your skin. For Edmonton, stay out of the muck. Number 2, stretch the neutral zone. The LA Kings, they don't play your typical 1-3-1. However, they still do play 1-4 checker, puts pressure on the defense of Edmonton, and they have 4 guys back. It is a 1-2-2, but there's a bit of a hybrid 1-3-1 that happens sometimes. It depends where the Oilers try and get the puck, whether it's the left wing or right wing. You will see one of the 2 defenders that are far back come up against the half wall to also cut off lanes for the Oilers. The Oilers are going to struggle to attack off the rush here. What they have to do is when they're under pressure in the defensive zone, when they get possession, they cannot afford to hold on to it for too long. What they have to do is high flips as far as possible and have one winger flying the zone, or Connor McDavid, or whoever your fastest skater is on the ice. And also, they're going to have to find a way to try and skate through some of it and dump and chase. It's unfortunate, but if you can find a way to stretch that neutral zone. And Evan Bouchard, he's gonna be the guy that they're relying on for these stretch passes. You're gonna have to have a forward up at minimum at the red line, if not even further, to try and grab that puck, try and take advantage of the Kings sleeping a little bit. it's going to be tough, right? This is a tough ask. This is a perfect world. Tactically, Edmonton's able to do it. The LA Kings, there's a reason why they're one of the best defensive teams in the league. But if they can stretch the neutral zone just a little bit, they're going to be able to break through and have some success. And number 3, key to the game, Stu Skinner. Stu for Edmonton. He is going to be key in this team winning or losing. He needs to make some saves, get out of the first period, at minimum tied. If the Oilers and Kings are tied after the first, that lets everyone settle in. The Kings are going to come out, especially early. They're going to have that initial playoff adrenaline rush. If you can weather that storm in the first period, the first 10 minutes, and find your footing and find a way to counterattack, we may see the Oilers come out on top here. Now, for LA, number 1 key to the game for them, assert your physicality. The LA Kings, they are a bigger, faster, younger, stronger team. Assert that physicality. When they dump the puck in the corner, they're going to be punishing our defensemen. When the Oilers dump the puck into the Kings' corners, their defensemen are going to punish our forwards. They are going to punish Edmonton in the neutral zone. They are going to be using their sticks. They are going to be getting into the grill of Stuart Skinner. If the LA Kings assert their physicality and get Edmonton off their game, if they force Edmonton to panic and not, possess the puck properly and not manage the puck, the Kings are going to have a ton of success tonight. Number 2, attack off of turnovers. As much as I say that the Oilers need to find a way to stretch that neutral zone, the LA Kings, they're good with their sticks, good with body positioning. That is where LA will find success. Edmonton's going to try and stretch the neutral zone. If LA is finding ways to read where that puck is going first, they're going to pick off passes. They're going to attack on transition against the worst rush defending team in the NHL. That's the Edmonton Oilers. The Oilers are the worst rush defending team. Edmonton has to manage the puck. The Kings, keep an eye on what Edmonton's doing to try and stretch you out. They're going to try and open you up a little bit, but the LA Kings, I'm sure they're ready for it. They can attack off turnovers because there are going to be turnovers by the Oilers, 100% guaranteed here. And number 3, volume shooting. Normally, I wouldn't recommend teams throw the puck on net from anywhere. I'm pretty tactical. You got to get into those high danger areas. You got to throw junk on net for rebounds and crash the crease. But if you're the LA Kings, you're going up against Stuart Skinner. Skinner suffered a head injury towards the end of the season, couple weeks off, and he historically does not play well early in playoff series. You got to get to him as early as possible, and the way to do that is to shoot as much as possible. Enter the zone, throw pucks on net, see what Skinner's rebound control looks like, see if he looks comfortable, because if he doesn't, the Oilers are in for a world of hurt, and Stuart Skinner, it's not going to look great as an Oilers fan. So volume shooting is going to be key for the Kings. Now, my players to watch here, I'm going with the 2 best forwards on each team, though there's an argument Quinton Byfield's the best forward for LA. Kevin Fiala is a great forward as well. Philip Deneau, one of the best defensive centers in the league. Anze Kopitar, I'm going with the player for LA that historically produces a lot against Edmonton. Adrian Kempe, an absolute thorn in the side of the Oilers. And of course, Connor McDavid for the Edmonton Oilers is who my player to watch is. Let's see what McDavid looks like, because they may be shadowing him a little bit. You can't really shadow in today's NHL, not like they used to try and do Wayne Gretzky back in the 80s and early 90s. Game's a little bit different now, but keep an eye on McDavid. If he's able to break through, because he's going to try a lot of individual plays. He's going to try and skate through that neutral zone. He's going to try and dangle. He's going to try and utilize his individual skill to make something happen. So keep an eye on him. Now, what is my score prediction? Obviously, game 1 at home ice for the Kings. It is very difficult for any team to go into the home barn and pick up a win in game 1. And historically, teams who win game 1 win a series 68% of the time or 65% of the time. I can't remember what the stat is. It is in the 60% range. It's a tough ask for Edmonton right now. The Kings are the best home team in the league. The Oilers still do not have a lot of key pieces. For that reason and that reason alone, sorry, Oilers fans, you're going to be mad at me, and I hope I'm wrong. I'm predicting a 4-3 Kings win in overtime. I still have the Oilers projected to win this series, but it's going to be a tough one. And the Kings, they likely will assert themselves as early as possible. I think this game is going to go to overtime. I think these teams are pretty evenly matched, and I think LA will come out on top in game 1 on home ice. It's tough for the road team to go into that barn. It's going to be loud. It's going to be crazy. And the Kings, I think they're more prepared than in years past. They are ready to go. If the Oilers are going to find a way to win, Chris Knobloch has to have some sort of tactical thing up his sleeve. I'm very curious to see how Edmonton plays against the Kings. Are they going to try and play low event, slow them down? Because if the Oilers are playing low event, slow them down hockey, eventually LA is going to break through. Unless Edmonton tries to lull the Kings into a false sense of security, and then the Oilers turn it up as the game goes on. There's a lot of question marks. Let's see what happens tonight with Game 1. I'm excited to see all of you during the live stream. I cannot wait. Kings fans, good luck. Have fun. I cannot wait for this series to begin. 4 years in a row. Oh boy, it's going to be an absolute doozy. Tell someone that you love them before the game, and as always, fight like a kid. Fight like Ben. Let's go Oilers.